Kia ora Canterbury, welcome to Canterbury Live on Thursday the 23rd of July. Well, last night I had the privilege to be hosted by Riccarton Raceway. It was a thank you to all the sponsors and the support they have over the season, over the calendar season, and what a meal. Now if you're looking for a function, Riccarton Raceway would certainly be a place to go. Martin Hedegaard is the executive chef there, and many moons ago I used to work with him at the good old Hermitage. We've been around a few moons, both of us, but anyway, a great place, and I tell you what, going by last night, this year will be simply sensational, the whole Cup week, especially with Riccarton Raceway. Rightio, giveaways, love this time. Ira Mitchell-Kirk, our beautiful resident artist, has this exquisite print to give away, set in Central Otago, such a wonderful, wonderful part of the world. It could be for you, for your home, business, you might even want to give it away if you want it. That'd be pretty cool. Now, on the 2nd of August, coming to the Isaac Theatre Royal is One Night with Elvis, and there he is, Andy Stankovic. He has a sensational voice. He's Māori and Croatian, and he lives right here in NZ in Auckland. So he will be here on the 31st to have a chat to us, but performing on the 2nd of August, and there you go, the lucky little tickets that could be in your hot little hand. To win either of these prizes, all you need to do is just call through to 3777 033 or go to our Facebook page. Like us, share us, leave your details, and you could be a lucky winner. It's as simple as that. Rightio. Coming up on today's show, the lovely Bruce Irvine is here from the fire service, and he does have an old chestnut, but it's the old smoke alarm. Come on, people. Not everyone still doesn't have a smoke alarm in their home, and we're talking about evacuation plans for your home. That's right. Have you had that conversation? And I'm also joined by Senior Sergeant Hoata Martindale about our Operation Shop. Yes, what is happening in our community? There's a few sticky fingers happening out there, and we're here to stop them. So we catch up with him. And the Decipher Group join me. Two of their directors are here and giving us wonderful options, especially if you're looking to change your career. It can be quite a scary thing, and they'll be talking to us about how they can be that factor to actually make it easy for you, and exactly what's happening in the Canterbury employment market. Is it good? Is it bad? What's going on? But first up, he always makes us feel so well. So stay with us now. It's Mark from Stay Well. How are we?
I'm really well, thank you. And you amazing job. Without cue cards, you rattle off all
I
the
know.
information.
There's no auto cue here, love. No. Tell you what,
stuff.
it's just, you know, just go like that.
Yeah.
Probiotics. For
Probiotics.
those that don't know, they're imperative.
Well, there's roughly between 3 and 4.5 kilos of bacteria in your intestine. And without them, you're not going to digest your food. There's bacteria all over your skin, not keeping out all the other bad guys. And actually, would you believe, you're actually only 10% human. There are...
Well, actually, I better say, some days I do feel like that, my friend.
There are 10 times the bacterial cells in and on your body than there are human cells. Okay, so we have to look after these guys. It's really, really important. And, you know, we become so super obsessed about, you know, cleaning our hands, killing 99.9% of germs. It's not necessarily a good idea, but also when we're killing all those bugs inside us, with winter at the moment, we're also wiping away all the good guys. And so what we tend to, what my best suggestion is we think about these guys as the carpet of our house. And if you rip up the carpet and you have bare floorboards, you're eventually going to have some issues. And it's the same as our intestines. So if you're having antibiotics, then you take those during the day, rip up the carpet, and then at night time when you go to bed, take the probiotics and relay that carpet. Sure, you're going to rip them up the next day and then relay them at night, but if you don't take that action, it's going to take up to 3 months for your natural bacteria to regrow. And in the meantime, you're going to get all the squatters and hillbillies coming in there and creating further infections.
You're so colourful, aren't you?
Yeah, well, how many people do you know who say, I got an infection, I got an antibiotic, then I got sick again? Or I got an antibiotic, I got thrush, or I got diarrhoea. That's actually your body saying, you've actually changed the balance in our bodies, and we're in trouble and we need help. And so one of the best ways, rather than taking Imodium or these chemical corks, is to relay those carpet tracks in your intestine. Plus, you're not going to absorb your nutrients in your food, because while you might chew it up in your mouth and wash it up in your stomach, it gets into your intestine, and it's only there that the bacteria are able to process it and get the food into your bodies.
So it's the underlay?
Absolutely, underlay and the fluffy Axminster as well.
Right.
Yeah, it's the whole bit.
So when we if we get a script for antibiotics and we go along to Stay Well to get a prescription, we should be picking that up at the same time.
Well, we will always ask you at Stay Well, but don't wait to get the thrush or the diarrhoea. It's too late then. And we get people saying, well, actually, I'm okay. Well, I'm sorry, you may feel okay, you may look okay on the outside, but inside there's a war going on, and you need to regroup with the armies and stack the odds in your favour. But even more importantly than that, there are now probiotics they've shown that play a role in diabetes. Only 40% of people who are really severely overweight are getting diabetes. So 60% who are skinny like you and I are getting diabetes, and they're now finding that the bacteria in our intestine play a role in that. We've got products like the Eczema Shield here. They've found that kids who are born from mums who get eczema, or if mothers want to try and prevent their babies from getting eczema, or they get eczema themselves, there are bacteria in your gut that can actually produce anti-inflammatory components to fight the eczema or the psoriasis, as well as obviously you've got to look at your diet. People with irritable bowel syndrome, 25% of people that get an acute, so that's like a one-off food poisoning, 25% of them go on to have permanent IBS, irritable bowel. And a big chunk of that is because the bacteria in their intestine have been changed, because the composition's been changed. They've got them being shifted to other areas. We've got, obviously, if you go overseas, we've got a brilliant product called Travel Bug. It's actually not a bacteria, it's a yeast, and it goes through your intestine and beats up all the things that shouldn't be there, and ensures that they don't stay there, because it really is about a war. It's about maintaining that balance between the good guys and the bad guys, right from the mouth right the way through to the other end.
So should we be taking that, if we are going away on holiday, and it's a great suggestion, should we start introducing it before we actually get on the plane?
Look, I think everybody should take a probiotic, even if you took it once or twice a week, just anyway. But sure, when you're going overseas, if you're planning to, get stuck into these. But come and talk to us perhaps about what's the right one for you, because as you can see, there's different products for different uses, and it's but don't bother with those yogurts. They're an absolute waste of time. If they were any good, I would sell them. But one capsule of these is worth 25 tubs of yogurt. Per day. So, you know, you need to talk in tens of billions, not in hundreds of millions.
Great.
So make sure you come and see us.
Good on you. Thanks, Mark. I love it. And just on a sideline, I was in a Stay Well Pharmacy the other day. They have the best hot water bottles. I just have to give a plug, because they're just too cool. Stay Well Pharmacy, 27 Sheens Road in Hornby. Live well, stay well. Phone 03 349 8785, staywell.co.nz. Radio, stay with us, because after the break it's getting hot. Yes, the fire service are here, and Decipher Group. See you soon.
Now I see fire inside the mountain. I see
It could be a theme song for the fire service, Bruce, just quietly. Could you get Ed Sheeran?
Oh, he's
Go
got a
on,
red
go
hair.
on. What, yeah. Hey, no, he's a very cool ringer, isn't he?
Very cool, very cool.
Hey, today we're talking about evacuation plans. You've got a very impressive banner there.
Yeah, it is. It's pretty simple though.
Yeah.
It's a plan. Okay?
Any plan is good.
And that's exactly it, Andrea.
Yeah.
Any plan is a good plan. People fail to plan.
Yeah, right.
You know, we come to work, and what do we all have at work? We have evacuation plans, don't we? Little notice on the wall, and exit signs and signage, and it's all at work.
Well, it's compulsory, isn't it?
It is. It's not compulsory at the home.
No.
So how can we get us to take stuff from work and take it home? Because we actually don't kill people in workplaces.
Well, not intentionally, love. We
Well,
might
no.
want to, though.
In reality-
We might want to sometimes, but yeah, not intentionally. Yeah,
In
exactly.
reality,
Yeah.
we don't kill people in the workplace. Why? Because we've got these cunning plans in place.
Yeah.
And we've got systems in place, like smoke alarms. But at home, we take it for granted. And yet, in the home is where we actually kill people.
Let's a bit of shock factor. We don't talk about stats and that, but how's it been at the moment with fires and fatalities?
Fire and fatality, we had one this week. just earlier, well, late last week, over on the West Coast, an elderly gentleman living alone in a very modified factory/home, no smoke alarm.
Wow.
Passed away.
Yeah.
Now, the guy was just doing his normal things in life, sitting in his chair, enjoying life. We didn't discover the fire until the fire was totally out. It was very remote property.
Right.
So he had no warning
Yeah.
to get himself out or to call for help.
How horrific. So
Absolutely.
So a neighbour, obviously someone saw smoke and
His
it was
son
well
came
too
back.
late. His son, oh
His
my
son
goodness.
came back.
Right, okay.
But his son was away for 12 hours.
Yeah.
And so what happened was during that 12-hour period, this house burnt to the ground, unfortunately with this gentleman in it. Now, at the end of the day, if he'd had a smoke alarm in the house, that would have woken him up.
Yeah, right.
And he would have got out. He would have had a plan, an escape plan, using a smoke alarm to get out. We don't care if the building burns to the ground, but we do care about the loss of life.
What is it going to take for people to realise that it's a non-negotiable to have a smoke alarm? $1 million question.
$1 million question.
Multi-million dollar
Well,
question.
Actually, it's about a $20 question.
Yeah, that's right.
Whoop, there we go.
okay.
Yeah, it's a $20 question,
Yeah.
you know, as we've discussed before.
Yeah.
But what it is taking what we do at work and taking it home. And that costs nothing.
No, it doesn't, no.
Creating a simple plan. Now, I'm not saying, hey, let's go out and draw diagrams. I'm saying, let's just have a discussion with our kids. What we do is we do focus on the kids. We focus on Fireways to get the kids to take it home to the parents. And in reality, we want the parents to take what they do at work and take that home.
And I guess it's a whole, you hear it all the time, oh, we're just so busy. It's hard to get us all together to talk about things and a plan and things like that.
And it's just how you do it. So what the fire service does, it produces a whole lot of, come on guys, get Fireways, which is fun activities that you can actually interact with the kids. Well, in other words, the kids are taking it home to interact with the parents to make it a fun activity. So we've got lots of resources in the fire service to help that conversation.
Right, okay.
But the whole point about it is in flatting and in students, they're living differently. And as I've discussed before with you, with my son, there's no social cohesion in the flat.
So he's down in Dunedin, isn't he?
He's the guy in Dunedin, yeah.
And you helped him put in the smoke alarms in the flat?
Put up some smoke alarms in his flat to look after himself, to look after his flatmates. But it's not like a family situation. They all have locked rooms. So they don't know each other.
Right.
Now, at the end of the day, even in a flatting situation where you're living together, that smoke alarm is going to activate.
Okay.
And then the plan is, what do you do?
Rightio. Well, thank you so much, Bruce. I mean, I know you keep singing the same song, but it is. That smoke alarm is imperative and the plan that goes hand in hand. Thanks so much. Look forward to next month.
Yep.
Do it all again.
Thanks very much. Looking forward to it.
Now, not saying that Bruce is fab. He's a lovely man, but look at the two bevies I have on the couch at the moment. The directors of Human Resource Company Decipher Group, I have Sasha Every and Leanne Crozier. Welcome to Canterbury Live.
Thanks, Andrea. Great to be here.
Goodness, you're just stunning, the two of you just filling up my couch at the moment. It's just gorgeous. But tell us, Decipher Group, because obviously between the both of you, you've been in the industry for, quite a while. So why start a new company?
We started Decipher Group just over 7 years ago. Leanne and I decided that there was an opportunity for a sort of a niche boutique recruitment, executive recruitment organisation in the market, and so we decided to take the opportunity, and it's been fantastic. It's grown, and we've got a really good, successful organisation now.
So Sasha, what are the industry sectors that you look after though? Because there's so many, isn't there? Especially in Canterbury at the moment with the trade boom going and that. Who do you look after primarily then? What industries?
We work a lot in the professional services sector. We're also doing a lot of work with local government at the moment, which is really exciting with all the changes that are happening. And we do a lot in the medical sector too, and manufacturing are the main areas. We're fortunate though because we are dealing with executives and governance level roles, that those sorts of people are quite transferable and able to move across the different industry types. So we're not really sort of pinned to having to deal with one particular sector.
Okay. Do you spearhead candidates when you see, obviously when you have companies that come to you, they want the best of the best. So do you find that you can pick and choose or you approach?
We use a number of methods when we actually go out to attract candidates, but a big part of that is search. And so we do that in a number of ways. We've got some fantastic networks, which is great, in this executive governance level of roles. We've got some fantastic people who want to help us as well. And so we do a lot of search through our networks, but we also use some really robust technology searching tools that actually allow us to search for candidates throughout the world, which is wonderful. And we certainly do use search. The candidate market and the way people search for jobs themselves these days has really changed. Gone are the days where you can put an ad in the paper and hope that you'll have all these amazing people come in. We actually have to go and dig them out. And that's something that we do. Yeah, and look, we love it. It's hard work, but it's fantastic.
I'm sure it is.
It is.
Because there is so much competition out there, isn't there, for those executive roles. Was the earthquake a big impact on your business?
Well, to be honest, when the earthquake happened, Leanne and I sort of thought, oh my goodness, what's going to happen to our organisation? But not one of the companies that we were dealing with at the time, every single role that we were recruiting for, complete and utterly went ahead, which absolutely astounded us, given given that we were going through absolute turmoil. And then since then, the business really has flourished because there's been more opportunities in the market out of the earthquake, which it's a natural thing to happen.
I love that word, opportunity.
Yeah.
And that is exactly that. Do you find also with candidates, I mean, we always hear this thing that skills are transferable, but it can be quite a scary thing to change an industry, especially if you've been in that right from day one. Yeah,
look, it is. You're right, Andrea. We do a lot of work at Decipher Group with people who are thinking about changing, and I think often when you get to an executive level, you can only grow your value if you do change industries or do change roles a bit to allow you to broaden your skills. But it's all about creating a very strong personal profile, and at Decipher Group we do help executives do that. So that's around their own personal brand and developing that. It's about having a fantastic LinkedIn profile, for example, but it's also about these executives developing a network and leveraging the relationships that they've got. So you've got to be really active as an executive when you're going out to look for a new job, and that's certainly what we recommend, and we can help people with connections. But you've got to, finding a new job at that level is a job in itself. And you've got to be very
discreet, don't you?
Oh, yes. Yes, definitely.
I mean, if you're heading a business and you're just quietly looking at moving on, so is that where you pride yourself also in Decipher Group?
Yeah, it is.
The discreetness?
It is, and that's actually, we were talking a little bit off air a moment ago about where we're moving to with Decipher Group, and we're actually moving into 151 Cambridge Terrace, the new Deloitte building. And
gorgeous.
And one of the reasons we're moving in there is actually all about that discreet business, because people can come in and out of that place and they wouldn't have a clue who they're coming to see. And that's important to us.
Good,
that's really important to us, with the fact that we're working with executives and governance level, directors. These people don't want to, they want to make sure that we're looking after their reputation.
My goodness, because that could be very, very awkward if things got out. I mean, crikey. So if we're thinking about making a change, simply we can go to your website, I guess, and find information. That's deciphergroup.co.nz. That's right. And I guess it's just a conversation, isn't it?
It is, just a conversation.
And then on that journey,
to start talking.
Yeah. Wow, funny that. In the right game, aren't you? Human resources. Thank you, ladies. All the very best. My goodness, how wonderful to have these beautiful ladies on your journey to a new role. And that is the Decipher Group. Now stay with us after the break. We're joined by the police.
Cause I always have to steal my kisses from you.
And that is the only thing that acting Senior Sergeant Hoata would allow, stealing kisses.
Not me.
And actually, we were talking about knickers actually the other day, the old knicker, the 16-year-old. We won't even go there.
Put me on the spot.
Put you on the spot.
Don't put me on the spot.
No, he didn't nick my knickers, love, but he's nicked a few, hasn't he? Crikey. Cool having you here.
Thank you so much for having me.
Oh, no, it's awesome. And today, though, sadly, we've got a lot of sticky fingers happening in Canterbury. Stealing.
Yeah, we do. Look, it's a big issue for Canterbury. It's a lot bigger than I realised before we started this operation in July, and we've named it Operation Shop. And so having a look at it, potentially it could be up to $250,000 a day that stolen property. the cost of security, the cost of monitoring these shops, the cost of the property that's getting taken off the shelves, and so that's over $1 million a week. It's crazy.
That is crazy.
It's crazy. It's
I mean,
huge.
I saw some stats coming through. A lot of it also is from the supermarkets.
Yeah, well, look, one of the most expensive things in the supermarkets is meat, and it's easy to sell. So a lot of these would-be criminals or these people that want to earn a bit of extra money go into the shops and try and get out with a whole lot of meat. Some of them are so obvious and so brazen in the way that they're doing it that they're not obvious, if you know what I mean.
Not wearing a Lady Gaga outfit with meat on it, are they, or anything like that extreme?
I haven't seen that yet. Seen some strange things. I've got some better work stories, but I haven't seen that yet.
Better work stories, I love it.
Yeah.
So Operation Shop is happening in July.
Yes.
And how is it going?
Hey, look, it's going really well at the moment. From what we can see, it's going really well. July, the reason we're doing it in July is over the last 5 years we've collected a whole lot of data, and it shows us that July is actually the peak of the year where a lot of thefts are occurring. Why? Look, there could be a whole plethora of reasons why that is. I don't know the exact reason why. It coincides with the Term 2 school holidays, but look, we're not saying that it's solely that. But July is the peak month. So for us to really look at the long-term prevention of this and for our community to feel safe and for our retailers to feel safe and have trust in us, we thought, hey, we need to sort of do something about this. So we are running this operation for the 5 weeks over July, the Operation Shop. But actually I see it as a bit of a springboard, a bit of a platform to see beyond July what's going to happen. So we're looking at different prevention methods, different things, different ways that the police can work with the community to hopefully curb this offending from happening.
Well, what can we do, Huara? What can we do in the community?
Look, if you see something that you think is suspicious, it probably is. If it probably is. That's one of the things. If you're walking around Kmart or if you're walking around a shop, I shouldn't really name them, should I? But if you're walking around a shop or a mall or something and you see someone that's looking a bit cagey, have a chat to one of the staff or one of the security. Let them know. It's better having that knowledge and actually catching them if they're not doing anything wrong, but if not saying anything, it's probably worse. The other thing that we could do is a lot of the stolen property is actually getting sold online, on social network sites and stuff like that. So my key phrase for the month is, hey, look, if it looks too good to be true, it probably is.
Ain't that the truth?
It probably is.
Yeah.
So once again, let us know, let the police know.
Yeah, but it's funny you should say that. If you think it is a little bit, wasn't your words, but dodgy or a little bit funny, then generally it could be. Because I think we've all probably seen something at this corner of our eye, but it's actually having the courage to do something about it, isn't it?
Well, look, sure enough, we're the police and we get paid money to keep the community safe, but really it's a community problem. It belongs to all of us. So what we're doing in terms of the police work is we want to build that trust and confidence with our community so they know that, hey, look, I can call the police or I can do this and I can do that. So it's an issue that belongs to all of us. It doesn't belong to me and my workplace, it belongs to you and I and everyone in the community. So just letting someone know.
Just let someone know. It's a good lesson. Hey, thank you so much for joining us, Huara.
No
it's
worries.
Awesome.
Thank you for your time.
So I think that's the key for everyone out there. If you think something is not correct or right or a bit dodgy, talk to someone. Speak up. Speak up. Crime Stoppers. Crime Stoppers. Okay. Thank you so much for joining us today. Tomorrow on the show, we have the Christchurch Casino talking more about the naked magicians. And Jared and I have a big cheese roll cook-off. Yes, we are. Who's the best cheese roll maker? And Alex from Tech Bikes and funky new bikes. Have a sensational Thursday. Look forward to seeing you tomorrow.